Deadpool and Wolverine has no shortage of cameos, but one infernal Marvel character failed to make his way into the MCU with its newest installment, again. It's a light year for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, all things considered. While fans have become accustomed to around 3 movies per year in the behemoth franchise, 2024 sees just one in the form of Deadpool and Wolverine. But that single movie is trying to make it count as the first R-rated movie in the history of the MCU, and one that brings together a long-awaited duo.
Let's give the people what they came for!
Villain Cassandra Nova is also getting her live-action debut, played by The Crown star Emma Corrin. However, the filmmakers considered at least one other villain from the comics before deciding to use Professor X's evil twin. In an interview with Collider, director Sean Levy asked star Ryan Reynolds, "What was the name of the villain that we flirted with? Was it Mephisto?" Reynolds then confirmed that yes, Mephisto was indeed considered as an antagonist for Wade and Logan, but they didn't end up going down that road. As Levy further explained, the writing process for Deadpool and Wolverine was one of trial and error, which involved bringing up the possibility of several different bad guys. He continued, "We went through a lot of almost versions of the story before we landed on this. First, it was the infamous call from Hugh, but then this idea of Cassandra Nova as a sibling to Charles. That was very quickly thereafter, because Cassandra's link to Professor X creates an interesting dynamic and fascination in Cassandra about Logan.
Boys are so silly.
So what made them move ahead with Cassandra Nova?" Reynolds admitted, "It was the panels of Cassandra with her hands in someone's skull, and it was so gross and cool, and we were like, that's our villain." Cassandra Nova does have a wild backstory in the pages of Marvel Comics, with her link to Professor X serving as just the tip of the iceberg. That said, Mephisto has been waiting decades longer, waiting to make his grand debut. Created by the legendary figures Stan Lee and John Buscema, Mephisto has been an evil presence in the Marvel Comics universe since its creation in the 60s. He first appeared within the pages of Silver Surfer #3 in December 1968 as an enemy of the metallic hero. It's not exactly subtle, but Mephisto is essentially the Marvel Universe version of the devil. He's been associated with characters like Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider, and he even made a contract with Spider-Man in one of the web-slinger's most controversial storylines. He's also someone that MCU fans have been speculating wildly about for several years now. This all truly kicked up when WandaVision was airing in early 2021, with fans speculating that Mephisto was going to be behind everything that was going on. That proved not to be true, and showrunner Jack Schaefer admitted that she didn't even know who Mephisto was until the speculation started. She told Mashable, "There was never any conscious intention on my part to create any Mephisto red herrings because I didn't know who Mephisto was until I started doing press." Be that as it may, Mephisto has essentially become a meme and a constant point of continued speculation for seemingly any MCU project since then. Since he didn't get the call for Deadpool and Wolverine, the gag will continue for the foreseeable future, but it might end as soon as 2025. Reports have swirled dating back to late 2022 that comedian Sacha Baron Cohen is going to appear as the villain in the upcoming Ironheart series. If Mephisto rears his demonic head then, many fans will likely rejoice, and it'll open up plenty of possibilities for the future of the MCU.